Right. So today we're going to really dive deep
Yeah,
into a classic hip-hop album.
absolutely.
We're talking about Big L's, The Big Picture.
One of the greats.
Yeah, and this is a posthumous release,
Mm-hmm.
which I think adds just a whole other layer to the listening experience, you know?
Definitely adds a certain weight to it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to explore, not just the music itself, but like the philosophy behind it, the impact,
Right.
and its legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you think about a title like The Big Picture. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so much more than just an album title, you
Right.
know? It
Yeah.
speaks to his potential and where hip hop was at the time.
Yeah. What do you think it means for like the listener when you go into an album with a title like that?
I think it sets a certain expectation, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to get something that's
You're not just getting bangers,
Yeah, you're not just getting bangers. You're
Yeah.
getting something that's going to make you think and
Yeah.
look at things a little differently.
It's going to be deep.
It's going to be deep, yeah.
So Big L was known for his lyricism, obviously. One of the greats when it comes to punchlines and metaphors and similes and all that.
Absolutely. His storytelling is really what set him apart, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you listen to tracks like Casualties of a Dice Game or The Heist,
Yeah.
and it's like you're right there
Yeah.
in the middle of the story. It's like he pulls you in and you can feel the tension. You can feel the emotion.
He paints such a vivid picture.
Exactly. And, you think about other great storytellers in hip hop like Biggie and Nas.
Yeah.
Big L's right up there with them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the production side of the Big Picture. I mean, you got some heavy hitters on there. DJ Premier.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think the beats complement Big L's style?
It's really interesting because I think the production for the most part is solid.
Yeah.
But I don't think it always reaches the same heights as his lyrics do.
Interesting.
There are definitely some standout tracks production-wise, like Ebonics, for example. The beat on that track is so minimal, almost industrial, and it just perfectly matches Big L's flow.
And speaking of Ebonics, I mean, that track is like a whole linguistic exploration.
Yeah.
He's using slang. He's using wordplay.
It's amazing.
It's a whole other language.
It really is, and it's not just about being clever with words. It's a statement about language and identity.
Right.
And how we express ourselves within hip-hop culture,
And hip-hop has always been
Pushing boundaries.
pushing boundaries. Exactly.
Yeah, with language and with everything else.
So let's talk about the features on the Big Picture. I mean, you got Tupac, Big Daddy Kane, Fat Joe Guru.
Wow.
Like, the list goes on.
It's a who's who of hip-hop.
What does that tell you about Big L and, like, his place in the hip-hop community at the time?
I think it shows that he was respected.
Yeah.
He was running with the best of them, and he could hold his own.
And not just hold his own, he was, like, shining.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it also speaks to the collaborative spirit of hip-hop. You know? You got all these artists coming together to create something special.
And some of those collaborations, become really significant, like Deadly Combination with Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, given what happened to both of them, it hits different.
Yeah, it's like a haunting reminder of their potential and,
Right.
their lives cut short.
Tragically.
Tragically, yeah.
So if we take a step back and look at the big picture as a whole,
Yeah.
what do you think his biggest philosophical statement is?
I think it's about the duality of life,
Okay.
You have these tracks that are full of confidence and ambition,
Yeah.
but then there's this underlying awareness of mortality.
Right.
The sense that everything can change in an instant.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because it's like a celebration of life, but also an acknowledgement of death.
Exactly.
Like they're both there.
Yeah, it's bittersweet,
Yeah.
You're enjoying it, but you're also aware of the tragedy of it all.
So where do you think Big L fits in, in the grand scheme of hip-hop history?
Oh, man, he's a legend. I mean, his talent was undeniable.
Yeah.
This album solidified his place,
Yeah.
And his influence is still felt today.
Absolutely.
You hear his style in a lot of contemporary rappers.
Yeah.
And I think his legacy is also about the conversations he started.
Yeah.
Conversations about life, death, identity, the power of language,
Yeah.
He was a true artist.
Yeah.
He used his voice to make people think and feel.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, something for y'all to think about. If Big L had lived, how do you think he would have continued to shape hip-hop?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a question that we can only speculate on, but it's worth considering, And in the meantime, go back and listen to the big picture. Let those beats and rhymes wash over you and see what you discover.
I think you'll find something new every time you listen.
For sure. All right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.